The biggest poison in us is regret.
I think there are a lot of people that have dreams and aspirations of things that they always wanted to do, but it wasn't the right time, or they didn't have enough money, or they didn't have enough experience. It's never the right time. You're never gonna have the right experience. And all of a sudden you wake up and you're 70. And you're like, God, I wish I could have done it.
It's what you don't do that screws with you later on.
I get one shot at this life. This is it. And I don't want to go through life being the 80% version of me. I don't want to look back and be like 77 and be like, I didn't do that. There's so much I want to do, and I love life so much, I don't want to miss it.
Welcome back. This is The Tracker on City TV. Jonathan Mensah is my guest today. Jonah, thank you for joining us.
Thank
you
so
for welcoming us to your home. It's a lovely place.
Thank you for having me on your show, and welcome to my home.
Thank you very much. It's been I don't know how to put it, but it's been, while 2020 has been a very strange year for a lot of people.
Yes.
Pretty much everybody, really. On a personal level, on a professional level, it's been a really amazing year for you. You finally won the MLS Cup for the first time in 12 years.
Yes.
You captained the team. That's extra credit, extra special. You were named Columbus Crew Defender of the Season. You were named in the MLS Team of the Season. I mean, sum that up in words for me, 2020.
It was a wild year for everyone, but you know, on a personal level, you have to look at the bright side. You have to manufacture your own good, because it was a tough year for everyone. So, with any situation or circumstances you might find yourself in, you have to make the best out of it, and that is what I did on a personal level, and collectively with my team we did. So it's a year to be grateful.
And it's amazing that it would come in the year when you're captain of Columbus Crew, because I mean, right from the very beginning when you joined the team in 2017, you were always part of the leadership council, of course becoming captain and leading the team to glory. When you joined Columbus at that time in 2017, did you see winning the MLS Cup happening in 4 years, and especially under leadership of yourself?
I think when I joined the club in 2017, we had a great team, and we were even close to winning it during my first year. We got to the conference finals. We lost to Toronto by a 0-0, and if we had even tied that game, we would have moved on to the MLS Cup final. So we were even close during my first year, but it didn't happen. You know, we kept pushing, because that was the ultimate goal for not just in the MLS, in every other league. You want to be the last team standing. So it's been our goal for a while, and thank God we won it in 2020.
I mean, and it's really amazing, because when you look at how your Columbus Crew career started when you joined first in 2017, and I remember quite clearly a lot of the fans were going at you for all those red cards, and even you admitted in later interviews that it wasn't such a great season, even though you got to the conference final. That first season, did it start to give you second ideas? Because everybody's thinking is that the MLS is supposed to be, in quote, easy. Then you go there from Russia, from having played in the French league, and then you go there your first season and it doesn't really go as great.
obviously, you know, that is the opinion of others and, you know, the perception of them that I didn't have a great season. But on a personal level, I think I helped the team get to the conference finals.
Right.
With all that I was going through, I managed to help the team get to the conference finals. That being said, the team didn't even make playoffs. They were last in the East, 2016. So for me to help the team get to the conference finals was okay for me. Obviously, I wanted to do better with the team. I wanted to always show up at work and just do my job. So for them to say I didn't do well in my first season, it's okay with me. You know, I admitted that it was a tough transition for me, but I think I did okay. So for me to push the team to the conference finals, I did okay, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's up to the football people to decide whether I did well or not. So I'll take it any day.
Of course. You know, we will talk a lot more about the Columbus Crew and what's happening there. It looks really special to me. All the Ghana connection, what have you, all the fufu you're serving the boys. I've heard the stories. We'll get into them. But that decision to go to the US, at that time in 2017, you had played great football in France, one of the top 5 leagues in the world. Yeah. The move to Russia, a lot of people considered it very strange. And then right after that, the US. Do you remember that whole process when you left France to go to Russia, to go to the US? It all happened really quickly. Yeah. What was going through your mind when you were making all of those decisions? Do you remember exactly the conversation you had with your agent or with your family before you made those decisions?
Yeah, it was, you know, this question always comes to mind, and obviously in discussion with my agent, my family, are we doing the right thing? Is it what you want? Is it what is going to help you move to the next level? And it's always a yes for me. And my family, my agent, they always support me. They always want me to do well. So in light of us having all these discussions, I think it was the right move and the right decision from myself and from family standpoint, agent standpoint, and where we all think I can just bounce off this current move and then move to the next level. And I think it's been a great journey so far for me.
It has been. Before you joined, Harrison was already there.
Yes.
Did you talk to him before you made that move?
Yes, to Columbus I did.
Yeah.
I did. I spoke to him a lot. I used to even watch the league because of him, because I knew him way back from Ghana. My first game as a professional in Ghana, I actually played against him.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so from there.
Ash scored against
Asante Kotoko.
Oh.
That was my first game as a professional.
He's so nimble-footed, isn't he?
Yes.
Very difficult to defend against.
To defend, and he's played several positions, and it was nice playing against him. You know, first game of my career, and then later on I met him in the national team, and then at Columbus Crew. So I used to watch it because of him, and you know, when the call came, he was the one that actually spoke to our coach. At that time, Greg Berhalter, the current U.S. national team coach. So, I used to speak to him before even this move got on the way.
Do you remember what the conversation was around the time you made that move? Because, I mean, now it's fair for all of us to say that the MLS has grown from what you went to meet back in 2017. It has more popularity now. It has more stars now. But I believe at the time that you made the move, especially in the media landscape here, lots of people were like, wait a minute. It's a retirement league. What is a 26-year-old going to do in the MLS? Did you hear those things? And how did you react to all of that?
I reacted calmly.
You
know, because sometimes when you're making these decisions, obviously you would have some of your fans, some of your haters, some of the people that criticize you, and some of the media guys, you know, they will question it. and it's up to you to obviously, if it's a mission or a vision you've set, you have to meet that vision and the mission. So, you know, taking that decision, I knew there was going to be a lot of backlash, but is it going to be a backlash that is going to attain my image, that is going to motivate me, that is going to uplift my game? It actually helped in a different way, and I'm grateful for all of that, because if all that didn't happen, my current situation wouldn't be a reality. So I'm thankful for all my haters, you know, my fans, my loved ones, my family, everything, you know, because everything came together, and now I'm enjoying the current moment right now.
You know, up until you were 26 when you made that move to the MLS. You know, as it stands now, you've played, what, 65 times for the Black Stars.
Yeah.
Before you moved to the MLS, you had played nearly 50 matches. But in the last 4 years, you've made not more than 20 games for the Black Stars. Do you think that move to the MLS somehow contributed to the lack of opportunities with the national team? And is that a perception issue, or do you think it's been fair that you've played such few number of matches for the national team in the last 4 years compared to before, even though you may personally be actually playing better than before?
It comes down to honesty. You know, especially with myself before anything happening outside. I have been always committed to the team. I've been always, I'm a sacrificial guy. Right. You know, I always want to come and sacrifice and
take one for the team.
Yeah, help the team. So if I didn't get a call up, I'm still sacrificing being a fan, because you know, I put myself in the shoes of the fans that, you know, they always kind of, hey, we want to win, you know, and I became a fan, you know, when I wasn't getting all the call-ups and all that. I still became a fan supporting the team. I wanted to see Ghana move forward. I want to see, you know, the team do well. So me moving to that league had nothing to do with the decision from the technical team or, you know, people that were in charge inviting me to come play and help the team. So if you talk of MLS, let's say, let me compare MLS to the Chinese league or the UAE.
Spanish second division.
Yeah, or the UAE league or Qatar, you know. At that time we had, our captain was playing in UAE. Yeah. Asamoah was playing in UAE that time. And
he's played in China.
He came, you know, he comes into the national team and do well. Right. You know, so if I'm playing in the MLS and I'm doing well, and I don't get a call up, I don't really think it justifies that, hey, you're playing in the MLS, that's why you're not getting a call up. Right. It might be the argument for some people, but I don't think, even if I'm playing in second division league in Ghana, and I'm doing well, and that's people, you know, and you think I deserve a call up, I think you will invite me. So I don't really think it was because I was playing in the MLS. It might be some other reasons that I don't know, but it didn't actually take me off my focus and my target. I just kept working hard, and if the time is right for them to invite me back, I'll come back and help the team.
Obviously, you're a fan of the national team, like you said, yes. And you love playing for the national team. You sacrificed, like you rightly said, for the national team on so many occasions, and you still want to do it, you still love to do it. When you look at the last 4 years, and I keep saying the 4 years because that's the time you've been in the MLS. Yes. Do you think that you should have played more times for the national team, looking at the kind of form you've been in the last 4 years?
Absolutely. Yeah. Looking back at my career in France, that was the time I was playing in one of the top leagues in Europe. Yeah. I was in a tough situation at that time, with a couple of injuries here and there, and I even had some Ghanaian journalists and some websites that writes in Ghana about our sports that I'm injury prone. And, you know, it was
that phrase. Footballers don't want to hear.
It was like a motivation for me though, because I knew I'm not. You know, I knew I'm not an injury prone. It's a couple of injuries. You know, obviously as a professional footballer, when you coming back from an injury, you want to You know,
Slow, yeah.
you want to go slowly and then get into the rhythm of, you know, playing more games, consistency now. But it was tough for me. You know, I came back, I played like 6 games, went back with another injury. So I was in a tough spot. But hearing these news, kind of like, if you're not strong mentally, it will kind of keep pushing you in a dark spot. So playing just almost 50 games in my 4 or 5 years in France. Yeah. But I still played lots of games with the national team.
That's true.
Because whenever there's going to be a call-up, I was always fit to play and all that. But at the same time, hearing all these other news, it was really tough for me. But I had to man up, chin up, and then come help the national team. Yeah. That being said, me moving to the MLS, I've played over 100 games in a few shorter time. And I haven't been getting the call-up. So I really don't know where the
problem is.
You know, all this other stuff is coming from, you know, that the league is weak, this and that. And, you know, I can even give an example of Zlatan coming into the league, doing so well. It's a retirement league. He did so well. That is what I hear all the time, retirement league from our own journalists, but some of the journalists. But when you go, when you look at Zlatan, he went back to Europe.
He's doing well.
He's doing extremely well.
Players are moving from the MLS to the Premier League. Almiron.
Doing so well. Yeah. So I don't believe that narrative, but they can always, you know, that is their opinion, and I don't disagree with their opinion, but I just let them have their opinion.
Of course. There's quite a lot to talk about the national team because you have a lot of very high moments with the national team, I'm not going to lie. But let's conclude our conversation on the MLS and all of the success you've chalked, especially this year. I saw a video of when you were named in the MLS Best 11. It was your wife that revealed it to you.
Right.
That must have been very special because I saw the video, I saw the reaction. You were very surprised. You didn't think that was happening. You were caught off guard.
Yeah, I had no idea because obviously I talk to my wife every day. Yeah. And, you know, that very beautiful day, beautiful morning, I was just getting ready to go to practice, and my wife was like, hey, babe, you know, you don't need to be late for training. And I was getting, you know, some...
A little bit funny feeling. It's like, what's going on?
You know, normally she would say, hey, babe, you know, have a good day at work, you know, God protect you. She would pray over me, and then I'll leave for work. But this time, you know, she did all that, and then she was like, hey, you're going to be late for work. And I'm like, baby, I'm ready. So I didn't know there was something happening, but I thought, is there a reason why she was saying that to me? But I just said, hey, okay, baby, I will. And then, you know, I got ready, and then I got to work. We started training, and we had a big screen. We do our set pieces and tactical stuff on it. So it was a moment where we were training, and then the coach was like, hey guys, let's come watch a set piece, you know, that we're gonna work on. Yeah, so some of the guys actually knew, you know? So as we were going, they were like, okay, let's go. Okay. And I also came together with them. And
set piece routine.
You know, so let's go watch. You know, I love set pieces, you know. So we got there, and then the video guy kind of started to operate the stuff, blah, blah, blah. He put it on, and it was my wife.
Oh, I was like, what is going on?
I was like, whoa. So when she started to talk, then the playback started to like, oh, that was why she was kind of pushing me to be late.
Now you're putting 2 and 2 together.
I was like, wow, they got me. I was shocked. I was surprised. So it was such an unbelievable moment for me, for my family. And for my wife to break that news, it was beautiful. So they really surprised me. Yes,
you know, to be named in the MLS 11 of the season, because that's in college times we call it an all-American.
Yeah, all-American.
Yes,
right.
We call it all-American
in the US. Yes,
in the US we call it all-American. Yeah. I mean, and that was only just the beginning of more special things to happen. A few weeks later, obviously, you know, you won the MLS Cup. I saw the videos. You were very emotional when you lifted that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a close game at all. It was a convincing 3-0 victory.
Yeah.
That moment when you lifted the cup, I saw the video. Harrison had the Ghana flag wrapped around him.
Right.
You were filled with emotions. I mean, just take me through like what the feeling was, because I'm sure that a lot of things must have been playing in your head as you lift that, because it's been a very long journey.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the sign of relief.
Right.
You know, from day one that I got to the club. Obviously, they've been, majority of the fans are genuine. You know, they love their club, they love the team, they love the players that are forming the team. So it was everything playing in my head, you know, with the team. In the, you know, we were almost gone.
Yeah.
You know, the team almost left town to Austin,
Yeah,
Texas.
the club was saved by its fans.
Yes. So all of that was playing, you know, in my mind, and I was so grateful and thankful to the fans, because their movement kind of like brought together great investors, you know, local investors, and we had that team there, and for us to have a moment like that, all of that was going through my mind, you know, with the did he make the right decision? Right. You know, everything was playing through my mind. You know, my wife surprising me, everything. You know, a couple of injuries that I went through when I went to the MLS. I had like 2 injuries when I went to the MLS in my 4 years. So everything was playing through my mind. You know, I was thankful for the Ghanaian fans that have supported me. I'm thankful for the call that Harrison gave me. Yeah. For the coach to contact me to be part of the team. So everything was playing in my head, and I was so grateful to God that He used me to lift this trophy after the club has won it for the first time in 12 years. Yeah. And now for us to win it.
Having won a trophy since then?
No, you know, that was the...
wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, so 12 years, that was like the length of my whole career.
Yeah.
So I was so grateful to be the captain. Obviously, we have a lot of captains on the team, but I'm the one with the armband. So
and the first African to do that,
to lift it, so
to lift an MLS Cup in history. That is. I love history, because to be the first to do anything, you will never be forgotten.
I would say that is God, man.
Yeah,
you know, because He led me there. Right. You know, so for me to lift that, I give all the credit to God, my team, the fans, everybody that helped me, you know, along the journey, along my football career. Obviously, the names goes on, and I cannot name everyone. So everyone that has given me water, anything, you know, that has helped me along this journey. That was why I was so emotional. It was playing through my mind, and two of the best players in the league, in Pedro Santos and Darlington Nagbe. You know, he's one of my closest buddies.
Wow.
You know, he's like a brother to me now. Oh. They both missed the final game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they had contracted the COVID-19. So we were playing for them. You know, we were playing for the core of the fan base, you know,
playing
that
for the city,
created for everything, you know, the city of Columbus. You know, we were written off by lots of the people that were analyzing the game. You know, they said easy win for Seattle, because, you know, they're the current champions, they have these weapons and all that, and we got our 2 weapons out. So everything was playing through my mind, you know. Was such an emotional moment for me, and thank God we won it.
Of course. So congratulations, because I think that was massive, and to do it in a year of COVID, that is extra special. I've been told that in that Columbus Crew team, which used to have a huge contingent of Ghanaian players, now it's just left with 2 of you, but there was a time where there was 4 of you. There's 3 of you now. Yeah. But there was a time where there was what, 5?
5 or 6, I think.
Yeah. So there was you, there was Harrison Affo, the David Akam, Lalas Abubakar,
right. Mohamed Abu.
And Mohamed Abu was
and you
there.
Had Edward Opoku also.
Edward Opoku too was there. That's like 6.
Yeah. So the maximum that has been there for a particular time
period
is 5.
Wow.
Yeah. Myself, Lalas Abubakar, Harrison Affo, Mohamed Abu, and then
David.
Edward Opoku. That
Edward
was
Opoku,
the
the five
time
of
where
you at
we
the
were
same
there.
time.
So when I came, it was four.
Okay.
Four of us.
And I hear you are the chief provider of the fufu for the
Lord.
boys.
No. Fufu is Harry.
How is it?
Because that's his favorite food, though.
But I understand that the guys are always gathered in your house. That's where they eat all the Ghanaian food, all the bangu and the pepper.
Harry loves fufu. Harry loves fufu. You know, my house is always jollof, rice, fufu once in a while. But but Harrison is the chief of fufu, though.
Yeah. It must be extra special to have a lot of Ghanaian players in there because it helps that every once in a while you can connect. Of course, when you go back home, your wife is there and all that. Right. But even in the team, I'm pretty sure it makes sense for you to shout something in Chi across to Harrison because he's just to your right.
Right. I actually communicate with him in Chi Gan.
Oh.
Yeah.
All the time.
Oh yeah.
On the pitch.
Yeah, we speak Chi and Gan.
Wow.
Yeah, myself and Harrison.
I'm sure your teammates are always, what are these guys on?
No. They
understand.
They're okay. They're okay. You know, sometimes when I play a ball to Harrison, then I go like, Ebayose. He would tell me, Kashegbe. You know what I mean? It's amazing.
Oh,
you know, and Lala Sabubakar when he used to be with Columbus Crew. Oba, you know, senior man. Oh no, you know, he calls me senior man. Senior man, you know, and I'm like, okay, Mesro, you know, it's beautiful, you know, to have your countryman with you on a team. It's amazing. So.
Something briefly on Lalas. I know Harrison, he's a veteran, he's played for the national team so many times. Lalas has played for the under 20.
Right.
But he's never been invited. Is that a conversation that you have with him every once in a while when the national team call-ups come? Does he dream about playing for the national team a lot? Do you talk about it a lot?
For sure. Obviously, if you were so interested in playing for the under-20s, I believe you think about playing for the senior national team as well. So when we are about to travel for a national team game, he'll be like, hey, bro, I'm happy for you guys. Hey, go have fun, you know. And he's that type, always high energy, high vibes, and he's a genuine brother to me and to all of us. You know, he will always be like, hey, bro, I'll be watching, you know, go do your thing, and hopefully one day I'll be there with you. And So he's just that type that will always put in the work, and when it gets to go time, he's always ready. So hopefully they're watching him and he gets his call up in.
You think it's long overdue?
Soon. Obviously, I'm a player, so I won't.
I mean, you know his qualities. Is what I'm asking.
I know. But then, obviously, if the technical team and the fan base and the journalists are watching him, obviously they know what he's doing, and he's won Colorado's Defender of the Year 2 years in a row.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I'm doing it in Columbus. I've won it 3 times in a row. So. He looks up to me a lot, you know. I look up to him too as a brother, but he looks up to me as a big bro, and he's such a great brother. So
we're talking to Jonathan Mensah here on the tracker. He's our guest. We've talked quite a lot about his time in the MLS. Still ahead, we'll talk more about the national team. We'll talk about his charity, and of course, we'll conclude the conversation with a very, very special surprise. Welcome back. You're watching The Tracker on City TV. My name is Fentio Tahiru Fentio. My guest today on the show is Jonathan Mensah, Black Stars defender, Columbus Crew captain. Jonathan, we talked a lot about Columbus Crew and your journey there and what have you. One question that I just need to ask you, one last thing about Columbus Crew, obviously, when you look at the MLS Cup that you lifted, you've also won the under-20 FIFA World Cup. You've won a couple of other trophies, obviously the African Youth Championships as well. But if you have to rank, you've played at the FIFA World Cup in 2010. You
And
reached the
14.
AFCON
And 14.
final. 14.
Why you-
Yeah, 2010 and 14.
Yes.
But I don't want to take you back to 14, obviously. So I'm doing you a favor by leaving out 14.
No, but participating, like, you know, to
yeah.
help
Yeah,
him, you know what I mean?
You did.
But you know, okay,
2010
whatever that
was,
went on
you know,
was like, yeah,
you know, it's like,
I understand.
exactly.
But
It's
I want you to add the
I've
disappointment
added it.
also.
You played at 2010
Yeah.
and 2014.
Yes,
two
you know,
FIFA
even
World
though it
Cups.
was a disappointing campaign,
It's
I want
still a
you to
FIFA
add,
World Cup,
yes,
absolutely.
You know, obviously, people don't like going back to that because
Yes.
of all the stuff that
Yeah.
happened around it. But
Yeah.
you
It's still
still have-
important.
yeah,
It's
you
important
still
to talk
need
about
yes.
it. So, you know, FIFA Under 20 World Cup, African Youth Championships, 2010 FIFA World Cup quarterfinals.
Yes.
Played at the 2014 World Cup, AFCON 2010.
All the AFCONs since 2010.
Since 2010, ever
all
since.
the
So
AFCONs.
you played in two finals. You've been
Yeah.
in two AFCONs where Ghana has got into the finals.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's
if
okay. That's okay.
it is a lot. If you have to rank this MLS Cup and you put it on a pedestal
Yeah.
of all the achievements you've had in your
MLS Cup.
career, where would you rank it?
MLS Cup, #1.
Huh?
Because from the start of our interview, you said you love history.
Right.
And this was a great historic moment for not just myself, not just for Columbus Crew, but for Ghana as well.
Yeah.
You know, the only African player to help a team lift the MLS Cup is from Ghana.
Right.
You know, so after 12 years, so I'll put that at #1. I'll put that #1.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. The 2009 and the 20 World Cup was
Yes.
also history, obviously.
It was.
First African
It
country.
was. That was first African country to
do
win
that.
it. And we've looked forward to another African country winning it, Ghana first maybe.
Yeah.
We've got into the quarter or the semifinals.
Yeah.
You know, we were close. You know, I stayed up to watch those games, you
Yeah.
know, and
You still watch the penalty shootout?
I do. Obviously I missed, so, you know, when it get to my turn, I just do it. But
I'm
yeah,
interested.
I
I'm
watch
interested
it
in
though.
the conversation that happened when you guys stood there taking the penalty shootout, and when you missed your kick and you had to take that long dreaded walk back
Yeah.
to your teammates. Do you remember anything anybody said to you during that whole period?
So after I missed and
Yeah.
I was coming back, you know, all the guys, because that was arguably one of the best youth teams ever.
Yeah.
You know, and our togetherness was unmatched. So as I was coming back, you know, hey Jonah, hey, we go win them.
Yeah.
That be the day, you know, in
Right.
Pidgin. Hey, we go win them, don't worry. And the other guys came, hey, what about win one, but you know, we're gonna win it for you. You better win them out. So I was like, I forgot that I even missed the PK, but right when I missed it, I was like, Jay, Kotokabi back, baby. You know, that came to mind. I was like, man, people are gonna be at Kotoka, you know. Already, you know what I mean? 2010, I remember that too. So as I was walking back, I was getting all these positive vibes from my teammates, and it gave me like another kind of like gear, you know, like, okay, I moved into a different dimension of disappointment to faith,
Right.
you know, and our next kick, we missed that one too.
Wow.
Yeah, so, you know, having
After
that
you
faith,
missed,
after
I think
missed,
Adaitu missed. Was
yes,
it
yes,
yes.
Ade, bright Ade. So after I missed, you know, when hearing all this from the teammates,
Right.
and then,
Adaitu misses.
you know, and I was like, man. But then I put that faith ahead of the disappointment,
Right.
you know, because it was like, wow. And then he was down there doing this, slamming on the ground, and some of the guys were like, hey, what are
Get
you
up.
doing? Get up, you know, because the kind of like the motivation that they had was unbelievable.
Right.
You know, like all this hard work, we're gonna lose and go home.
Nah.
You know, and they were like, hey, come up, what you doing? We're gonna be fine. You know, I was like,
Right.
okay, then I also can't, let's go.
Yeah.
So he came, and then, you know, after that, we kept scoring, and we won it.
Happened.
Yeah.
You talk about the fate.
Yes.
And after that tournament, we heard a lot of stories about the Christian faith that went into it, and the role, if you like, and I put it in quotes, of TB Joshua in that competition. What do you remember from interactions with TB Joshua on the phone? Do you remember any conversations about TB Joshua? Because there are stories that TB Joshua was the one that told Celeste the order of the penalty shootout. And that conversation is being had a lot. What do you remember from any time at all that TB Joshua's name was mentioned?
And never. This is the first time me hearing it.
Really?
I never heard TB Joshua's name in camp.
Right.
I never heard after the tournament. It might be a backstory that I'm late to hear.
Yeah.
It was just, obviously God is for us, God is for Brazil, but we worked extra harder.
Of course.
Because even though if you have God on your side, if you don't put in the work, then you won't get the results. So I didn't hear anything about that. Yeah. I think we were the more resilient side on the day because we were down by a man after 25th or around that time, and we still held, a strong Brazilian side and went on. We took them to distance. So penalty shootouts, we give all the credit to ourselves. Of course. Obviously, we will have some individuals that were big in some moments. Daniel Ajay, Imana Ajma Bedu, Dominique Dia, everyone that scored, obviously if we didn't miss, they wouldn't have the courage to step up and score. So everything that happened on that day added up to us being the champions of the world. But the story of, I didn't hear anything about that. Yeah.
You know how sometimes, obviously when you win something as big as that and you have a moment like missing a penalty and then the thought, the feeling that you could have let your teammates down.
Yes.
Did it take anything away, or does it sometimes give you a tinge of regret? Like you don't